conference rivals meet at the Whippet Athletic Conference for a spot in next week's Willard District Semifinal. The Shelby Whippets at the Ontario Warriors meeting one final time in 2025 to determine a sectional champion. We got all the action coming your way on your smartphone, TV, PC, tablet, any smart device you have, with Pregame coming your way next.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports.
I like being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
We welcome you inside the American Home Exteriors pregame show for this Division 4 Sectional Championship between the Shelby Whippets, the number 4 seed, and the number 6 seeded Ontario Warriors. Winner moves on to play top-seeded Perkins next Tuesday at Willard High School. Hello, everybody. My name is Travis Berardi, alongside Brian Skoronsky and Ski. Gotta love when conference foes meet once again to determine the sectional championship.
And it wouldn't be a baseball game in 2025 without a little bit of weather, so the elements are definitely going to be a factor today. But each of these teams, they're tough, they're gritty, they don't care what Mother Nature brings. They're just out here looking to get a leg up on the other. A rubber match here tonight. I love that it's a 1-1 series, and the winner advancing, the loser goes home.
Ontario team spotlight 11-12 under head coach Mike Ellis, 7-7 in the MOAC. 3-7 over the last 10 games, though, but they split with Shelby, so you never know when these two teams meet.
Yeah, not a lot of confidence, perhaps, on Ontario's end tonight just because of how they're limping into the tournament a little bit. 3 consecutive losses. However, when it's tournament time, it's a little bit different. Throw out the record books, all those type of analogies, and that's what we have here tonight with the Warriors. Looking to pull off what you would consider a bit of an upset, I think, here tonight on the road.
Yeah, and we are underway as starting early here at Shelby High School. James Mahon, the leadoff hitter for the Ontario Warriors, swings through that pitch. He's behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
One of the best hitters in the MOAC. This kid, he's been bringing it the entire season. 405 OBP, so it's a great dude to have leading off at the top of your lineup, and just like that, gets hit just below the hip here, and the Warriors in business with the lead-off man on.
Should take a look, and just got hit on the knee to start things off here today, and he is our player spotlight. But on the pitching side of things, he's got a .9 ERA, 32 strikeouts, Brian, 2-0 record. Very good for him and the Warriors, and very good for him to lead things off with the leadoff base runner.
Getting a little bit of early confidence, so good start here for the Warriors, and a high pitch to start off to Ian Rachel as well.
And this is something you want to do, especially as the lower seed. You want to strike early before the pitcher can settle in.
Rachel's just got 12 hits so far this season, so looking to manufacture base runners any way they can. Not a good-looking bunt attempt. Plenty of air underneath that one, and the play is made easily from the bump.
As you take a look at the Charter Next Generation replay, yeah, that's the one thing you cannot do as a bunter is pop it right back up. Thankfully, Mahon was able to get back to first. But there is now one down for the three-hitter, Carter Walters.
Slowing after hitting the first batter, trying to ease into the game. And even though you get the warm-up, having this moisture in the air, you got to get accustomed to it throughout the course of the game when you're facing live hitters. So we've seen the last couple of nights here during the tournament where sometimes it will take a little bit of an adjustment for these hurlers to start easing into the mix as that one dips outside here in front of the ball.
Yeah, 1-1 the count here to the three-hitter. And some of these Ontario batters have experience at the state level. Played for a state championship just a couple years ago.
Not too far removed.
The 1-1 looking to bunt. Gets it down, but it bounces foul. It'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Warriors a little trouble playing small ball here to start things off in the first. Just underway here on the Mechanics Bank scoreboard. The only game on what should have been a big schedule for the OH report today. But thanks to Mother Nature, everything's going to get stacked into tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we had 6 games planned for tonight, and this really the only one going. However, Highland was able to move their game, and they are going down to the NAS tonight to get in their competition. Beautiful ballpark there
yes.
that I saw with Jonathan Langdon a couple of months back. So probably a treat to have a district game there, or a sectional rather. The
1-2 is high, evens the count at 2, and we covered a highlight there when the Northmore Golden Knights are going up against a major league recruit, losing to Liberty Union at that game. But that is a very wonderful place for baseball, and I think the Centerburg Fredericktown bracket also will play there, as that ball is high. Now the count is full at 3-2 as Walters has worked his way back in the count.
Yeah, he's just a really good hitter. He was a big part of that team that made it to the last day of the season 2 years ago.
And we're oh so close to winning it all as well. Another throw over the first. Mahon back. The shortstop for the Ontario Warriors. We'll take a look at the Shelby team and player spotlight inside the bases in the bottom as that's fouled off, and we'll go again. 7th pitch of the at-bat upcoming here early on. That's another thing you want to do. Work the count early, work the pitch count of the pitcher. As you take a look at James on first. Another payoff pitch. Just missed ball 4, and it's first and second with 1 down as you take a look at the replay. Just inside.
Yeah, just missed with a couple of those pitches during that at-bat. And this is another part of the process early on in the game, just understanding how the umpire is going to call things and getting a perception of how you can paint the corners, where exactly they are. And Ontario now 2 base runners on.
They'll bring up Jaron Holden, the cleanup hitter for the Ontario Warriors. First and second, 1 down here in the top of the first.
Yeah, really exciting young player in Jaron. One of the leaders in the MOAC this year. You look at a .391 average. tops on the team with 25 hits this season.
The 1-0 pitch. Catches the outside corner for strike one. We're even at 1. So leadoff hit by pitch and a 1-out walk have the Warriors in business here in the top of the first. Off speed in there for a strike. And that's something also, Brian, pitcher early on needs to do is to get control of that off speed, because you get that to paint the corners, and that fastball even helps you out even more.
Yeah, really left Jaron just holding the bat, kind of just falling asleep a little bit there where you just can't seem to pull it off your shoulder. He does here, popped up, but it looks like it's going to fade out.
Yep, hit the dugout right in front of us as our score crew up here making a nice catch. However, this is not the major leagues. You have to return the souvenirs back to the field of play. It'll remain 1-2.
Members of the Shelby staff here, too, though, so they're probably the ones that are paying for these balls.
This is true. This is very true.
May as well just return them.
Sloan's 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 2 down. A big strikeout for Sloan.
And back to your point, bring a little bit of cheese here. Keeps it up in the zone. The breaking ball, it was down, and you see way up. That's right around the chin region, and just no chance to catch up.
That'll bring up Max Caroli, the 5-hitter for the Ontario Warriors. He's today's catcher. 2 runners on here with 2 out for Ontario. First half of the game. Little chopper out to short. Bobbled. No play. It'll be an error, and the bases are loaded now.
Wow.
That'll be an E6. As unable to come up with it was Eister.
Yeah, it's a big bummer right there if you're a Shelby Whippet fan. Tailor-made play to either flip it over to second, get the force out, and or you got to play it first as well. And instead, it's Sowards here. Big moment.
But
Deja vu.
another chance for Eister. This time he
Makes
will
up.
get it. Yeah, great play. Way to shake it off. Shelby leaves them loaded. 3 Warriors left on base at 0-0. Whippets coming to bats after we come inside the bases, between the bases. Brought to you by American Homestead Exteriors. The Shelby Whippets now coming to bat, as you see Ontario unable to get things going with the bases loaded and 2 out. And let's take a look at the Whippet team spotlight. Brian, under head coach John Amicone, 15-11, 6-8, and the MOAC averaging about between 6 and 7 runs per game, giving up 4. But they have won 4 of the last 5, and always in tournament time, you want to be hot at the right time.
They play really well at home, certainly a lot better here at the Whippet Athletic Complex than they have away from the comforts here of Shelby Country. So this is a team that's been playing some of their best baseball here down the stretch. Their only loss over their last 5 games against Upper Sandusky. That took 8 innings of work, and that's a really good team.
Very good team.
There's a big anticipation for them to make a run in the tournament as well. So for Shelby, I think this is a confident team that we're really expecting to come out here and swing some hot bats tonight.
And one player that needs to swing a hot bat is one Quinton Albert, the first baseman, the junior. 449 average, but 32 RBI, 7 homers. You need to get batters on ahead of him for them to be successful.
Yeah, I asked John Amicone about him receiving the award, the District Player of the Year, and he said he's just one of those type of gamers you love having on your team, loves, eats, breathes, sleeps this sport, and that's why he's putting up some crazy numbers right now. And just observing while I was interviewing Amicone, we'll show that at the end of this next half inning here. He was getting everybody fired up in the dugout, walking around and just making sure that the juices were flowing all the way around. So when you got a dude like that on your team that's having a big season, it trickles down, and he's been able to have a huge effect on this roster.
For Ontario to limit him and the Warriors, keys to victory: protect the corners and produce base runners. They produced base runners in that top half of the inning, just couldn't score quite, but also protect the corners, Brian.
Yeah, I think you want to give the infielders something to think about, producing those base runners offensively like Ontario just did, even though Sowards just on 1 pitch ended up finishing off an opportunity there to get some early runs. But for the Whippets here, just some extra bags. Have some big hits here in this inning, and that will produce the quality start that would probably propel them here tonight. I think if they get an early lead, it definitely bodes very well, obviously, for Shelby winning at home. Yeah,
extra bags, quality start, the 2 for the Whippets, something that in those victories. So, Nick Eister will start things off and hopefully get a quick extra bag for the Whippets.
Well, depends who you're a fan of, Travis. There's always 2 ways to look at every single game, every at-bat, every call by the umpire. So that is the beauty of sports. That's what we love so much about it, is even though we can all find that common ground, we come out here and we love it. We love it for different reasons, for different teams, rooting interests. But a great start here. A couple of strikes to the leadoff hitter.
It's Carter Walters throwing against Eister. Eister, the shortstop. A good job by him. Back-to-back hits to him to get the second one for the out. He flies out to right field. A little bit of a journey out there for the right fielder Holden, but he's able to make the grab, and 3 pitches, 1 out.
Decent contact, swing in there with 2 strikes on him. You got to try to protect the plate, force the outfield to make a play. Holden able to do so that time.
That'll bring up the player of the year, Quinton Albert. So not going to have that runner on with a chance to get extra RBI, but he does have a chance to start things off here in the bottom of the first for the Whippets. First pitch to him is ripped. A little bit too high, though. And the wind's going to knock it down. He put a lot into that, but there is a bit of a breeze blowing in, and it's going to drop into no man's land for a single. Look how far the center fielder had to run.
Yeah, it's perfect placement. Also, Kenyon Ginn just never seems to pick it up, it seems. Just charging in. It looked like it was probably going to be a routine play, but just right where it needed to be, the soft spot of the field. And that's going to be a single here. Probably one of the more unusual ones that Albert's had this season.
Hey, on the scorebook, it comes down as a single no matter what it does, but he does reach with 1 out, and that'll bring up today's pitcher in Sloan.
Yeah, your same name, double duty tonight, hitting in the number 3 spot, but you got to, a kid that's got 24 hits on the season. He's been super consistent all year, bringing that left hand, but a nice fastball here to blow it by him.
It swings through the first one. It's 0-1.
You look at Walters in his season so far, more innings than anybody else on the Ontario pitching roster, 35 innings under his belt, 3 wins, couple losses. And right around 7 strikeouts per 7 innings, so you can anticipate that he's probably going to rack up multiple Whippets here tonight, about 1 per frame.
0-2, just misses there. Tried to hold the pitch to get the frame job, but it's just outside. It's 1-2 now. There's the left side of the infield of the Whippet, of the Warriors, I should say. Hoping to turn a double play here. Pitch misses and evens the count at 2-2. And that's something you'll see with the starting pitcher as well, is if you get ahead of the count, no balls, 2 strikes, you have a couple pitches to play with. You try and get them to chase, and that's what Walters tried to do here to even the count. Here's the 2-2 to Sloan. That's ripped down the line and left. It'll be a base hit. Left fielder's able to stop him to a single, but it's now first and second with 1 down for the Whippets.
Back-to-back hits here for the Shelby offense. Starting to heat things up here at home, as looks like the clouds are parting a little bit. It's still gray skies right now, but really no rain falling whatsoever here at this moment. So this is a good chance for Shelby to capitalize on some quality weather. 2 straight hits, try to keep it rolling.
And I'll bring up one of the best names that you'll hear tonight, Maverick Noel. Take strike 1.
I know the nickname Big Christmas is already taken. Got to try to find something for this kid.
Well, I mean, hopefully he's the top gun of the game.
Okay.
I get a head nod from Troy Schwimley right next to me, so he agrees to that one. Who's his goose, though? That's the question.
Looks like that's being debated over here. We'll try to get some type of an answer for you.
Walters ready with the 1-1. Checks the runner at second, releases. In there for a strike. It's 1-2. Big at bat for both teams here early on. You saw that with the bases loaded and 2 out for the Whippets. This time now for Walters. Can he limit damage, keep the Whippets off the board here in the first? His 1-2 pitch. Popped up. It's trouble, and it drops inside the line. Although the runner at second had the hold up just to make sure that dropped in. However, it will load the bases with 1 down and another seeing eye single for the Whippets. They're loaded.
You want to talk about placement right now for these Shelby hitters. Call it luck. They're creating their own right now, serving them up on a platter. Little bloops down the line each side, attacking this ballpark from every which way. And in a great position here for some early runs, Travis. And if you can get to this starter, try to make it an early night for him, could bode trouble here for the Warriors on the road.
Max Caroli out to talk to his pitcher real quick. A double play ball, a ground ball could get the Ontario Warriors out of this jam here early on. But Brady Bowman, a name we've mentioned a lot over the last couple of seasons, not year seasons, but fall and winter. A successful athlete here at Shelby, looking to come up big here in this sectional final in the first inning. He's got the bases loaded, but swings through that one for strike 1.
Another dude in this top half of the lineup for Shelby that hits with some punch, 333 average. When you carry that last name, like you were mentioning, it just brings with it a set of genetics that you're anticipating that they're going to come out here and play big.
Yes. That pitch missed high. It's 1-1. Walters gets the sign, and he's ready. Gets the swing and miss for strike 2. Went a bit off speed there. And now, again, only with 1 ball, you have a chance to play around a little bit. Try and keep it low, though, and get yourself a ground ball and out of this jam. The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. That works as well, 2 down.
Huge moment right there for Carter Walters. 35th strikeout of the season. And that really changes the complexion now of how they're able to run things here. Just need the 1 out, force at every bag to try to get out of this frame unscathed.
That'll bring up Caleb Stairs, the 6-hitter. 2 down. You got any base if you're on defense. You just need something to get through the infield. If you're on offense, wherever it gets back to the backstop. Slides in. Shelby leads 1-0 on the wild pitch.
Quinton Albert coming in, the D9, District 9 Player of the Year, rather. Bringing some juice here with the first run of the game. And trying to keep some momentum rolling here now with 2 down after the wild pitch.
Tough break for Walters and company after getting that second out, but the Whippets do strike for 1. They have a chance with 2 more in scoring position. This pitch sent to center field, tracking back on it. And making the catch is Ginn to end the bottom half of the first. Brian Skoronsky had a chance to talk with Shelby head coach John Amicone here a little bit ago.
The great John
Amicone, absolutely. This is what they had to say.
Coach, beautiful night for some baseball out here. I mean, it's been raining about 48 straight hours, so a lot of uncertainty whether we were even going to be out here tonight playing this game. So getting your boys focused, dialed in, what's this process been like over the last couple hours?
You know, just trying to keep them in tune to what's going on in the game. We know what's at stake, and, you know, you have to be focused in every pitch, you know, in every play. So for right now, it's our main game, our mind game right now is stay mentally focused and don't let the weather, the climate, anything else goes on stop from your ultimate goal.
You do have the recently named District Player of the Year, so congratulations to Quinton and your staff for getting him that award. That's got to make you feel more confident having a dude like that.
I mean, he's an awesome kid first and foremost. It's a kid that's easy to root for. He goes about his work the right way. He's a grinder. He loves baseball. And it's really nice to see like his hard work start to pay off with some accolades.
Yeah, I just see him come over here bringing a little bit of juice as well. So you just played Ontario a couple of weeks ago, 2 games back-to-back. What did you take from that? What are you going to use tonight to your advantage?
I think it's like playing a mirror, and Mike Ellis is a great coach, and they're an awesome program, and they've been that way for a lot of years. So I think it really comes down to the little things. What team comes here and does the little things correctly, doesn't hurt themselves, is more than likely to be a team that wins. But I have great respect for Ontario and Mike Ellis, and we understand that's going to be a great challenge in front of us, but hopefully our kids are ready to go.
All right, Coach Mahon looking for his 5th win in his last 6 games. Back to you, Trev.
Thank you, Brian, and what a run. Get back here in about 0.5 seconds from down on the field. But Coach Mahon, he's just one of the great coaches around here, as well as Coach Mike Ellis, sending his team to the state championship game a couple years ago. I actually mentioned on the roundup last night, it's a game of just one pitch here, one moment here. It's like football or basketball where it's a game of inches. Well, it's one pitch because Ontario that year, as the first pitch in to John Mahon, taken for a ball, but they're down 2 runs to Sandusky with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th at home in a sectional final. They score 3. They win that one, and where do they end up? One bad place line drive away from probably winning a state championship.
Yeah, knocked off Shelby during that tournament run as well, despite the Whips going 2-0 versus them in the regular season game that I covered, and it was close until the end. So all it takes is a little bit of magic, and especially in this sport, we've seen a few different scenarios where teams go into the tournament floating around 500. The Warriors were a game below, just kind of similarly to exactly what we have right now this season, and you just got to catch fire at the right time, and that can spark. Momentum's a crazy thing, of course, at the high school ranks. It's a big swing and a miss right here.
Yeah, Sloan's bounced back from 2-0 to 2-2.
But all you got to do is just find a little bit of magic. I think the Pacers are a perfect example of that.
What a
they've been
comeback
doing
last night. Halliburton doing the choke
Reggie
sign
Miller.
and pointing the Reggie.
Hey, Reggie pointed right back. How could you not?
Swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 down. High fastball. He knew it right as he started to swing but could not hold it. And that'll be the 2nd strikeout for Sloan here today, as Dane Kearns, first baseman, will come up for the Warriors. The 8-hitter for Ontario here today.
Got 14 hits so far on the season. Gets on base 35% of the time.
And that's a stat that I'm going to teach you more about, is the OBP. Average, a lot of people use that, but I like to use the on-base percentage more because that adds in hit by pitch and walks too. So it's every time you're on base pretty much into your at-bats. So I like to highlight the on-base percentage as well, as that's fouled off for strike 2. But the average is important too, because you're hitting the balls in play. You're not only just working walks and stuff, but it shows that you can also get on base by hitting the ball where the defender is not.
It's more fun to get on via the hit,
but it's all
relative, especially if you're a singles type of hitter. You'll take that walk. You'll take that hit by pitch, because anything that can get you on first base is a good AB anytime.
That's ripped foul. It'll stay 0-2. Another good thing for these teams being able to play today is that these number 1 pitchers will be available on Tuesday. You have the 5 days rest per the NFHS rules if you get to a certain pitch amount. But 5 is the limit, as that's hit right back to Sloan. Bobbles it, and cannot make the play. It'll be a 1-out base runner as we take a look at the Charter Next Generation replay. And
I mean,
got to give that an error.
It's gutsy to reach out your pitching hand and knock it down, but he had 2 attempts at it, and I think if he's able to nab it on either of those,
yes,
he chucks it over to first.
And that's the one reason I'm calling it an error there, because he had the opportunity to make the play. Now, if he would have just hit his hand and bounced away, I think that's a hit. But the fact that he was able to have 2 chances to get it and still throw the runner out, that's why. I mean, after covering, ball gets away, throw down to second is high. Normally that ball only a couple feet behind the catcher, but a great read by Kearns allows him to get to second base. Now, as I was saying, a couple years covering Major League Baseball, I'm a little bit tougher on high school scoring than others, but hey, it happens.
Yeah, I think that's a quality assessment there. error. And now with the wild cannon, sends Kearns over to second base, runner in scoring position at the bottom of the order here for Kenyon Ginn.
Wild cannon, I like that. I may put that in my repertoire. That one misses low and is now 2-0. So the Warriors looking to bounce back, bottom of the order. Runner on second with one out. Unless we get a double play at the top of the order, we'll get a chance here with a runner in scoring position. The 2-0 from Sloan. Chopped right to third, freezes the runner at second on to first, is wide. Runner will advance to second base and third, and now the Warriors have a chance to take the lead here with one out.
Yeah, the Maverick here a little too top on this gun, up and over the first baseman's head, and it allows Ontario to keep everybody safe, advancing second and third base. And at the top of the order now, Ontario making some noise.
Yeah, back-to-back errors. Therefore, these runs will be unearned for Sloan as he tries to work out of this jam. Both pitchers with a bit of a jam in the first inning, and it continues here into the second as James Mahon, who was hit by a pitch, will get another at-bat. Fouls that off. Hit by a pitch, advanced to third back in the first, but was stranded there. Do want to congratulate also the Clear Fork Colts out of the MOAC, advancing in this district tournament. They're on the other side of the bracket. They'll play next week at 4:30. Swing and a miss, and just like that, it's 0-2.
Filthy off speed that time by Sloan, forcing the hitter to come up empty.
The 0-2. Outside, 1-2. About 51 degrees here today. It is May, right?
It's tough to get a read on that at this point, isn't it? Wearing flannel yesterday.
Fly ball, left field, back, track, off the fence. It's going to score two, and the Warriors are going to have the lead on the double by James Mahon. He gave that one a ride and came about 15 feet away from a big fly.
Yeah, no chance to be able to catch up to that one out in left field for Gwertz. Huge pop in the bat here for the first team all MOAC performer. Game-changing type of play right there with the run. Two of them.
2-1 Warriors lead here in the second. And Rachel had that pop-up on the bunt attempt in the first. He'll get to swing the bat this time. Swings through that one for strike one. So you may already be looking back at the bases loaded one-out situation for the Whippets and only being able to get one run. That may be a momentum shift here after the two runs by the Warriors. Little flare to right. Foul. It's 0-2. And that's something you also see in the game of baseball. One pitcher able to get out of jam, gets a couple runs early on, and that locks him in as well. So we'll see if Walters can just work off of this momentum that his offense has given the team.
Yeah, it takes a little pressure off anytime you're able to develop some offense, and it can just cascade throughout the lineup unless you get dealt just a dart there. Right on the edge of the strike zone.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, two down.
Third strikeout of the night. First time that we've been able to see Travis get him looking.
That'll bring up Walters. Chance to help himself out with another run here if he can get a hit. Two down here in the second. First pitch fouled off. Made sure to bring the throat lozenges today. This is game number 5 in 4 days for me. Loving every minute of it, though. It's tournament time. This is my favorite time of year. Baseball and softball tournaments. Winners going to Firestone Stadium in Canton or Akron, and then Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton and Rubber Duck Stadium, Canal Park, for baseball. And I have a feeling we're going to have some teams there for both.
With the expanded divisions, a lot greater opportunity for us now, but we do have some big-time teams that we've been covering all year here on the OH Report. You presume there's got to be probably some team out of the MOAC gets hot, makes a run here on the baseball side of things. Possibility, I think, on the opposite end for Lady Colts, if they can pull off an upset.
You have the Lady Lex as well, a team that made a regional last year. Bunt attempt is low. It's going to be 3-1. I mean, the Danville Lady Devils getting what you would call a little bit of payback on Mechanicsburg from losing the district championship last year, just routing them last night. A feel-good story in Buckeye Central, who should have played a district final here today, but it got moved to tomorrow because of the weather. They'll play Winford for a third time. Two of the best pitchers in small school softball in the areas. That's taken for ball 4, and it'll be first and second with 2 down. But it'll be fun if you see maybe Buckeye Central make it to the regional, a Cinderella-type team. They're 7 games better than any record in the last 10 years. The first year they were in the Northern 10, they had 10 wins. The second year they had 10 wins. That was the best records they had since joining until this year, 17. Just what a phenomenal turnaround they've had.
And it doesn't typically parlay into a deep tournament run when you haven't had success for a long time, and then all of a sudden a group pops up. There's some of those learning curves, and it's just a different style, of course, when you start getting into the tournament action. And just one win away now for the Buckettes of moving on to the Sweet 16.
And also a Mohawk girls softball team, which Buckeye Central split with. But Grace Colleen does it on both sides. She's a really good pitcher, but then she can hit some bombs as well, and that's what you need. Somebody with that experience, as that's chopped foul off the foot of Holden, and it's 1-1.
A little Ginger coming out of the batter's box that time. I think he did just clip the inside of his foot. A surprise team that I saw that has a chance to win a district, Cary Lady Blue Devils, who, of course, they did it last year, but absolutely decimated in their roster. But we potentially could see 2 Northern 10 teams moving on in softball.
Or 3. Mohawk, too.
Good point. Big whiffer.
That makes it 1-2. Yeah, you have possibly, the Clear Fork Lady Colts, or we'll have a team. We'll have an area team make it to regionals, either Clear Fork or Lexington there. I'll be all the way out towards Youngstown tomorrow. Hillsdale, they've got high hopes. Danville, like we said, that's fouled back. We'll go again. Monroeville, the Lady Eagles. Despite the 20-1 loss to the Hillsdale Lady Falcons, they, only 3 losses. They're a 20-win team once again. And if they play today and win, we'll see them on Saturday. So at least on the softball side, I'm already booking my rooms for Akron and Firestone Stadium. I plan on being there every day of the tournament. I mean, it's such a phenomenal atmosphere up there. It's a perfect place for a state tournament for softball.
It's hard to argue that. I think as far as venues and being the exact right size, fit with the proper setup, Firestone's right up there for the best atmospheres that you can get in the tournament time for any sport.
Now, since we're calling a baseball game, Canal Park, too. And even having the semis at Thurman Munson Stadium, that's an iconic venue as well in Canton. So, the OHSA is doing it right by not spreading semifinals and finals off like they did for basketball this year and putting everything together. And also shout out to Canton and Akron for allowing this to happen. Strike 3 looking. Whew. As we'll take a look at this one to escape the first and second base jam. However, after 1.5, the Warriors of Ontario, they've come to play. They lead it 2-1.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
7, 8, 9 hitters due up here for the Whippets. Trailing Ontario 2-1 here as we begin the bottom of the second. Travis Berardi, the boss man, Brian Skoronsky here at the Whippet Athletic Complex. Sectional Championship Baseball. Winner heads to Willard on Tuesday. First pitch flared down the right field line. On to make the tough catch is Holden for the first out. He's done that a couple times already here today. That the one hand behind the head, as you'll see here on the Charter Next Gen replay.
Little flair for the dramatic for this young prospect who had a fantastic season, fielding, hitting. Sometimes you just got to make it look a little bit cooler than maybe it needs to be, Travis.
Hey, just that you make the catch. I'm not going to quote Major League after Willie Mays Hayes made the basket catch and comes in and coach says, not
Don't do
blanking
it
again. Don't ever blank and do that again. That's what it was. Want to know the Sam Gwirtz, the 8-hitter. Fouls that back, and we're even at 1. So I did eyeball you looking at our schedule for tomorrow, Brian. There's about, 13 OH Report games scheduled because of the weather? The 1-1 misses for ball 2.
Yeah, here's what we're looking at. I'll try to do this really fast. Travis is going to have Hillsdale versus Columbiana Crestview on the softball side of things to move on to regionals. I'm going to have Clear Fork versus number 1 Lexington at the D4 Galleon District. We'll have Smithville at Hillsdale for the Sectional Championship in baseball. Probably Danville versus the winner of West Jefferson versus Cardington, depending on how that all shakes out. And last but not least, Winford versus Buckeye Central in the D6 Shelby District right here for the championship, the right to become sweet into the final 16.
Holy moly.
Jeez.
Everybody's fine. Everybody's fine. Okay, now we'll show the replay. Watch this. Hello. Wake up.
Gosh.
And that's why I like being up in the press box. You've seen something like that happen in a dugout doing a highlight, Brian.
Yep, I didn't exactly see it coming, but it definitely felt
Your sunglasses
it after it arrived. That's for sure. Those sunglasses did not make it through the day, and neither were Gwirtz through this at bat.
Take a look at the replay. They said he offered. There's 2 down. Second strikeout for Walters. I'll bring up Connor Hartz, the 9-hitter for the Whippets. 2-1 Ontario here in the second. That one in there for a strike as well. Warriors striking on the 2 RBI double by James Mahon after 2 Whippet errors put 2 on. That one.
Man, another hot shot. This rivalry, buddy, this is real. Maybe something got said over in that dugout.
Again, that's why I'm behind a wall looking at the screen. And he got him looking. 1, 2, 3 go the Whippets in the bottom of the second as Carter Walters looking like he's starting to lock in.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
Top three here in this sectional championship. 2-1 Warriors, 5, 6, 7 hitters up. Max Curley will lead things off. Reached on an error back in the first. Travis Berardi back here with Brian Skoronski. The game of the day is this is sent to deep center, and it's over the head of the center fielder, Max. In with the leadoff stand. Well, it should be a stand-up double, but he slides in there just for fun.
Yeah, he looks like he's having a good time out here, getting everybody riled up in the dugout right now for the Big O, and they've had some pop in the bats. A couple of big hits right now for Ontario, and that's how you want to start off an inning. A little bit of energy, get the excitement going within your dugout, and get you, just 180 feet away from making it a 3-1 game. Tough math for me to add that 92 times.
Math is hard. Sometimes math is very hard, but hey, you got it. So that'll bring up Landon Sowards. Grounded into a fielder's choice to end the first inning. RBI opportunity for him here as you see the runner on second. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike right at the lettering. It's 0-1. You see the cold gear here at the end of May. The 0-1. That one a little too high, and it's 1-1.
Doesn't feel that cold out here tonight compared to the last couple of days.
The wind, it's not as windy tonight, which helps. Swing and a miss, it's 1-2.
Certainly do applaud everybody out here at the Shelby Whippet Athletic Facilities for making sure that this field was ready to play. It rained all day long in Richland County leading up until even halfway through that first inning, and even though we still got some trickle-down effects coming through here, not nearly as impactful as it was earlier. I mean, there were some roads that just had crazy amounts of water flowing throughout the gutters in Mansfield.
Yeah, and hopefully this is the last day that we have of the rain. Because we have 3 more days worth of stuff. We got a lot of district championship, sectional championship games the next 2 days, and then we'll be outside for graduation on Sunday, too, for the Clear Fork Colts. So, hoping this is the last of the rain for the foreseeable future. Full count here. The Sowards, the pitch. High ball 4. It's first and second with nobody out.
Bring up John Mahon next in a big spot here from the number 7 spot.
But before that, Coach Amicone is going to go out and talk to his pitching staff. 2 on, nobody out here in the top of the third. Curley, leadoff double. Sowards you saw work the full count and the walk. Now John Mahon, who is talking to Coach Ellis. And there is the unharmed Ontario dugout.
Just barely.
I do dig the black jerseys. Black jerseys, blue lettering, numbering, and yellow trim. Very Warrior-esque.
Now batting, number 6.
So Coach Amicone is done with his mound meeting. Sloan staying on the bump as Mahon, who struck out to start the second inning, will get his second at bat. Sloan with the release. Bunt goes foul. It's 0-1. And again, the Warriors trying to play some small ball here with nobody out.
Especially for John Mahon, coming off of an injury. It's taken him a long time to get back into the lineup, and this is just his 23rd plate appearance so far of the season. .43 average up to this point, so this is a good way to try to move around some base runners, sacrifice, and try to get to the top of your lineup here. If they can get a couple more guys producing some hits, some small ball, any way you can manufacture runs, especially in the tournament, Trav, you are going to sign up for it. Doesn't matter how they appear.
Absolutely, and especially against a team that averages 6.5 runs per game, as that's taken for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, pulled back just at the last moment, so didn't think necessarily that he had to put anything on that ball.
Sloan ready with the 0-2. That one just misses, and it's 1-2. So, I don't know, maybe a makeup from the last pitch, but nonetheless, it's 1-2. First and second, nobody out here in the third. Curveball. Got him.
Oh, wow.
They say he offered. Broke the hands, one down. That's what, it was slowly walking.
I was kind of wondering where Mahon was meandering to, and makes sense. 4th strikeout now of the evening for Travis Sloan.
And a big first out there for the Whippets with 2 on. That'll bring up Kearns. Reached on an error. 1 inning ago. Take strike 1.
Just changes the whole complexion out there, obviously, when you've got runners littered all over the paths. So, opportunity here for Ontario to try to strike. Travis Sloan got some other plans as he gets ahead in the count.
Yeah, second time he's gone ahead 0-2 on a batter. Now with a chance to really turn the tides here in the top of the third.
Last time he battled Kearns, it was that one that he hit with his hand, wasn't able to regain possession, and fired over to first base.
It's grounded foul. A tough luck error, we'll call it. But nonetheless, it started to lead to 2 runs for the Warriors and a lead. A lot of game left, though, especially if he can get the next 2 batters. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, a big cut, but couldn't hit it. 2 down, back-to-back Ks now. 6 on the day for Sloan.
Warriors have not gotten much of anything out of their bottom 4 guys. Sowards did walk a few batters ago, of course, but a couple errors. Landed Kearns and Ginn on base last time. Now Mahon and Kearns with back-to-back strikeouts. Sloan starting to heat up.
Little grounder to first, and the Whippets will escape the jam. And not only that, keep the top of the order still on the bench. We've played 2.5. Whippets back to the plate looking to tie or take the lead.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Before we get to the bottom of the third, let's thank some sponsors, the ones that allow us to be live and free today. American Homestead Exteriors. Our commitment to excellence is reflected in our strong and reliable exterior solutions. Call us today for roofing, siding, gutters, and windows. Especially with the rain that's coming down, get those gutters fixed by American Homestead Exteriors. Mechanics Bank, Richland County's only independent community bank. Arcelor Mittal, smarter steels for people and planet, hiring now with competitive wages and benefits. Visit arcelormittal-oh.com and click careers for more details. Charter Next Generation, hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment. Avita Home Health and Hospice, providing high-quality community health care and improving the quality of health and families throughout their lifespan. And Sutton Bank, earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. Thank you all for allowing us to be live and free right here on the OH Report, because we are the future of local sports.
Definitely the present right now. All we've got, Ontario, Shelby, we are focused in on this game. Fun rubber match going here tonight.
as Nick Eister, with his second go-around, chops this one to second. Throw over the first, just gets the out, one down. Tough play, nice play made there by the second baseman, James Mahon.
Hesitated just a fraction there getting it over. However, had the arm strength to get it done. That's a big out right now for Ontario with this big silver slugger coming up.
However, still a big threat. Shelby only needs one to tie, and he's able to do that with one swing of the bat. He's done it 7 times this season.
Yeah, the extra base hit's just absurd. Kid hits with a lot of pop. No triples for him, though, during the regular campaign.
He's selfish. He wants the 4-baggers. That's why he has so many. Takes ball one as you hear the Shelby dugout starting to chirp out there and give him some encouragement. That one in there for a strike, and we're even at 1. That's another great thing about the game of baseball. Softball, it's a little bit more. You get the chants and stuff on the softball side. Baseball side, it's just chirping. It's words of encouragement, per se, as this is flown out to deep center. Catch is made, though, 2 down.
You see a lot of creativity, though, amongst the gentlemen. Obviously, they can't ham it up quite like the ladies do on the softball portion, but you'll hear different specific chants when some of their friends get up to bat, or little things. Like you said, words of encouragement. They've got their own style of bringing the energy from the dugout. It just definitely, it adds fuel to the fire on both sides, and particularly in a rivalry game where maybe some of the words of encouragement are sent to the other team.
This is flown out to deep left, but it's a fly out. It's a 1-2-3 inning. And once again, the Warriors quickly erase the Whippets in the third. 2-1 as we head to the fourth. We'll be back.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
Back here to start the top of the fourth and the top of the order due up for Ontario. Travis Berardi back here with Brian Skoronsky. Hello, Michael Tagg, rooting on the Warriors. Susie Roberts for the Whippets. Tara Sturts, let's go Whippets. Addison Ferris. The Madison girls. They'll be playing Ashland.
Yeah, we were hoping to see him tonight. Jonathan Langdon wanted to have an opportunity to call his alma mater's game against those Lady Rams, OCC champs. And I'll have them on Saturday if they do indeed get past the Arrows.
First pitch to James Mahon taken for a ball. And now he's ahead of the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Hello, Miss Jory Skoronsky. Staying warm, guys. We're actually pretty warm in here. Corey Krieger, go Warriors. Brandy Albert, go Whippets. Jackie Felter also rooting on the Shelby Whippets.
Keep them coming, guys. Love making you a part of the game out here on the OH Report. As Travis likes to say, you shout us out, we'll shout you out.
Shout out.
You don't spell shout, though, like an English person would.
Shout, it's Pittsburghese.
There's like a W in there, I think.
S-H-A-T. That's taken for a strike. It's 3-1. Shat at. There's no O-U's in Pittsburgh. It's A-H. Shat. Not out. At.
All right.
At.
Got
Pass. That's ripped the right. Backtracking as the right fielder stares, and he makes a running catch like a cornerback. 1 down. Look at this replay, Ski.
Yeah, this was beautiful. He didn't make it look casual. I think he timed it perfectly so that he would arrive when the ball did as well. So both of the right fielders here tonight. They're making things look just super cool out there, like they should have some shades on.
They want to make it onto the diamond cuts, Mr. Skoronsky. Your top 5 defensive plays of the week. We've had some really good diamond cuts over our first 3 episodes, right?
Definitely yesterday was the most challenging to dial it down to just 5 for the week. Had to leave out a couple honorable mentions.
Rachel, nice play, spin, throw, and that might be, but not going to be a diamond cut as the catch cannot be completed. But it looked pretty all the way up until the just end. That's going to be an infield hit, though, because the way the shortstop had to reach, had to track all the way towards the middle. It's a tough play. It's a diamond cut if it's made, but it's still an infield hit, and Rachel has his first hit of the game.
Thought that was going to be right on cue, talking about spectacular defense.
I know,
and
we can't be as lucky, I guess.
That's about as good as it gets, though.
Snap throw over the first, not in time after ball 1 to Carter Walters, who has locked in on the mound. He has retired the last 8 batters he's faced. And in a tournament atmosphere like this, that is exactly what you want for Coach Ellis's squad. The 1-0 to him. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
Sloan's done a pretty nice job tonight keeping hitters off balance. He's had a nice mixture coming out of his bag, off speed, going alongside, obviously, that Swiss cheese that he's been able to operate with so consistently. But it's when he's really taken some off of it that he's had a lot of his success so far with those 5Ks.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. The 1-2. Swing and a miss on the change, the off speed, and there's 2 down. As the pitcher gets the pitcher. 7th strikeout, and that'll bring up Jaron Holden, who's over 2 with 2 strikeouts from Sloan. 2-1 here, top 4 on the Mechanics Bank scoreboard. And that swung on and missed. And despite the single, it seems like Sloan now starting to get in the groove as well. He's retired 5 of the last 6 batters he's faced. The 0-1. In there for a strike.
Yeah, he's really operated with some of his best stuff tonight with runners out there along the base pass. The one mistake he made was to Mahon, who obviously ripped that ball for the 2 RBI double. Outside of that, done an excellent job of really winning these matchups via the strikeout when it's mattered most, and runners out there scattered along the pass.
That 0-2 fouled off. Runner went as well, but he'll have to retreat back to first. Whippets will have their 4-5 hitters. The heart of the lineup due up in the bottom of the 4th, hopefully only trailing by 1. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and they will indeed come back to the dugout, only down 1 as Sloan back-to-back Ks to end the top of the 4th. We'll see what they can do in the bottom after this.
He's heating up.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
We have approached the danger zone. It's Maverick Noel. We'll lead things off here. Looking to break a streak of 8 straight retired by Walters. This is up the middle, but played perfectly by the defense for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out, and that's something we also saw. It was a 5-pitch inning by Walters back in the 3rd, and 1 pitch, 1 out here to start the 4th.
Helps to have your boys back you up like that. Routine play for James Mahon, but they're only routine if you're a great player and you're able to make them like he was able to there in the 6th spot.
They'll bring up Brady Bowman, struck out back in the 1st. And we're talking about Top Gun. Really cool thing they do at the state softball tournament when they announce the players per game. They play the Top Gun theme, and it just matches perfectly. That's a ground ball. This time the 2nd on the 1st, 2 down.
Yeah, both the Mahons getting involved there in the middle infield. James followed by John for the first 2 outs here.
In only 3 pitches. You want efficiency right now, look at Carter Walters.
Shelby was really extending at bats early on in the game, particularly in that 1st inning. Since then, like you mentioned, Ontario's really been cruising, been able to produce, 9 consecutive outs now,
10.
dating back?
10 now in a row by Walters. That one misses for ball 1, and that's actually only the 2nd ball thrown since 2 outs, since 1 out back in the 2nd inning. Little chopper foul. It's 1-1. I smell some popcorn downstairs, Brian.
Yeah, shout out to the Whippets and the ladies down there that are cooking. Everything looked fantastic, and they're a big reason why people come out to the ballpark. Let's be honest. I mean, the baseball's great, but when you're out here for, a couple hours or more, you're going to get a little bit hangry. So having a premium popcorn, some type of traditional sandwich on display is always a great attraction out here. Big part of America's favorite pastime, right?
Oh, yes. America's pastime.
I would argue that my favorite pastime probably is when I get those 2 or 3 square meals per day.
The 3-1 in there, and the count is full at 3-2. Also got to shout out the concession stand workers yesterday at Clear Fork. Brought some pretzels.
I was actually watching live and free when they came in there. I heard some
Yeah.
whispering, "Hey, we're good, thanks."
This one's driven to center, misplayed by the center fielder, and it's over his head. The streak ends at 10 as Caleb Stairs has himself a 2-out double, and the tying run is at 2nd for the Whippets.
Just misplayed by Ginn out in center field. I always say you want to take that first couple of steps backwards. Seemed like he had his pressure going forward on that one. And it allows Shelby to get a little 2-out magic here as they've got a pinch runner coming in, and Brody Baker try to stir things up along the base pass as they're down to the bottom here of the order. And I feel like if you're able to produce offense in these spots of the game, it just adds a little bit more value, and it gets the dudes that are accustomed to getting the big hits fired up over on the sideline. And as we talk about all the time, it's just contagious in this sport when hits start coming.
The designated hitter, Brock Fisher, now up. He's in this lineup because of his bat. Can he tie this game for the Whippets here in the 4th?
.297 average on the season for Brock. This will be his 75th plate appearance, so he's had plenty of looks at a lot of variety of pitchers in the MOAC and beyond this year.
Walters checks the runner, throws in there and just misses for ball 1. Shout out also to our good friend here at Shelby, Kathy Dodge.
Of course. I was asking around, actually, down in the concession stand. I was like, do we get a Dodge sighting tonight? And I guess she's on the softball side of things. Could have had her had the softball game went down today. However, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll have that action for you. Winford and Buckeye Central.
That's going to be a pitcher's duel. I'll tell you that now. As Robinson and Colleen, 2 of the best pitchers, 2 of the 3 best pitchers. I mean, Mohawk has one heck of one as well. But the last time they played, it was a 3-2 Buckeye Central 8-inning victory, a walk-off. So Maybe some more in the district championship game tomorrow. Colleen, a slugger as well. Brooke Frombaugh had 7 RBI in their 19-0 drubbing.
In one game?
In one game.
Like
that
6, 7.
That was a 3-2 minor upset as well. Winford comes in as a 3 seed, knocks off 2 seed New London 19-0. And like I said, Frombaugh, 7 RBI and 4 runs scored. She had over half of the offense herself. The 3-1 misses for ball 4, and now the go-ahead run is on base for the Whippets.
First walk issue tonight so far by Carter Walters, so he's done really well when he's had 2 or 3 balls on batters to be able to get ahead, get contact, as we saw just last inning, only 5 pitches to get the job done. Big spot now for Shelby to try to capitalize.
And he had been rolling 2 outs and 3 pitches here in the 4th, but then Stairs works the count full and hits the double. He pitches around Fisher. And now Sam Gwertz, one of the 3 strikeout victims by Walters today, up to the plate looking to redeem himself. Big swing and a miss there for strike 1. Gwertz, the left fielder, trying to give Shelby at least a tie here with a hit. Snap throw to second, nearly gets him, but he's back in time. That was a planned design play there by the Whippets. But your pinch runner able to get back. That one misses. We're even at 1.
Just right now, Walters is unable to get them chasing waterfalls. He was getting in a groove earlier of just sprinkling right around the strike zone. A few pitches a bit too far out wide, though this one dialed in.
1 and 2. And all Walters has to do is just creep back into that strike zone, and he did there for strike 2. 1 pitch from getting out of the jam. The 1-2 will come after this throw back to second, and again, back in is safely. Warriors will have their 5, 6, 7 hitters due up in the 5th. The 1-2 to Gwertz. High, nearly gets away, but a great grab there by Curley to save the runners from moving up 90 feet. 2's on the board here. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Walters escapes the jam with the high heat, his 4th K of the day. We have played 4 here at the Whippet Athletic Complex. Sectional Championship Baseball 2-1 in favor of Ontario.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
on to the 5th here in this Division 4 Sectional Championship. Ontario, the 6 seed 2. Shelby, the 4 seed 1. Travis Berardi back here with Brian Skoronsky. And since the first couple innings, this has been a pitcher's duel.
It's been some really fantastic defensive plays as well. But really, I think you hit the nail on the head there, because when the moments have been the biggest, we've seen strikeouts, Travis, not just getting the backup from the defense, going after some of these hitters. Saw it there to end the 4th inning, and certainly right now, Travis Sloan is in a zone, baby. He has struck out 4 out of the last 6 batters.
That one in there for a strike as well. It's 0-2. And a good thing for either team that wins this one, the next game is in 5 days. Therefore, they can start the district semifinal. And I was just looking at your notes while you were doing some research in between innings. You know, Mahon, a .9 ERA. If we get to the 6th or 7th innings, he can throw a couple innings and not have to worry about him not being available for the district semifinal against the top-seeded Perkins.
Yeah, I could see that being his role in a game like tonight, and particularly in a tight ball game like we've been locked up in here. Bring Mahon in as this is ripped to center. Got to get on the horse, but a nice read.
Bowman makes the catch. 1 down. He read that nicely off the bat.
Number 24, Landon.
1 down.
Sowers.
Beautiful execution by Brady. Gets right underneath the ball. Nice squeeze for the first out. Bring up Sowards.
And also, I think that's a reason why both ADs, both coaches said, let's play today. The rain hopefully will hold off, and it has. But we want to have our best available when we go against the top at Willard. First pitch to Sowards, taken for ball 1. He is 0 for 1, a fielder's choice in the first, walked in the 3rd inning. Swing and a miss. We're even at 1.
And the weather, too, since that first inning, I mean, we've had a little bit of trickle down at certain moments, but for the most part, it has cleared up, and this is pretty reasonable tournament baseball weather.
Other than it being colder and feeling like it's the beginning of the season. But I'll take that over what we've had the last couple of days. We should be over on a football field right now with this weather. That one caught him looking, strike 3. 2 down. The 3rd time
Now batting.
Mr. Sloan has
John
said,
Mahon.
can I help you? Nah, just looking.
9th strikeout overall tonight. So he has been rolling. He's had at least 1 in every inning.
I'll bring up Mahon. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Lines that one foul. It's 0-1.
Mahon just initiated into the lineup in the last couple of weeks. And he's got a great eye, on-base percentage of .429. A lot of those coming via the walk, though. So still trying to find himself. He's got a couple hits so far on the season. Trying to add to that total here.
How's that off? It's 0-2. But also, Mahon, I remember back against Defiance in that regional. Bases loaded. He worked. He actually reached on an error, but put the ball in play, reached, and it helped Ontario win that regional championship. Sometimes all you got to do is put the ball in play and good things will happen.
Yeah, plenty of leftovers from that team still here on the roster. Departed with some fantastic players over the last 2 seasons. Certainly the culture, it's been established. Yep. Mike Ellis was a long-time assistant before he got the call to be the main dude here over the last 3 seasons. And it's cool, I think, anytime that you can have somebody already that's been a part of the program and bring them in. It feels like you don't miss a beat, and perhaps even more than that with what we saw right out of the gates for Mike. Run to the very last day of the season, and a lot of special memories in Ontario country, and obviously a program that they've had a ton of success in the tournament.
That one high, it's 1-2. That was a fun ride with the Warriors. Every time I went up for their district game they won, they said, you got to keep coming back, so I did. And they kept winning. They kept upsetting teams. And they were, like I said, runner on second, one out in the 7th. Line drive, it looked like it was going to get in the right field and tie the game. Instead, it was caught and doubled up, and that ended the game. But one run away from having a chance. That one's outside, and the count's now full here with 2 down in the top of the 5th. As a reminder, we'll keep it here for the 5th inning stretch. Once this top half of the inning is over. The payoff pitch. Grounded foul will go again. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Mahon saying, I will not strike out for a 3rd time today. They call that the golden sombrero.
You typically like having the Midas touch. There's only a couple of different things in the world where you're like, you know what? Don't really feel golden today.
Fouls that off again. 3rd time he's worked a 2-strike pitch off for a foul.
It's been a great battle right here, this at-bat.
Working the pitch count up here in the 5th. The 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. He finally gets him for the strikeout. 10 on the day as the Warriors go down in order. Time now to welcome you in to the 5th inning stretch, brought to you by American Homestead Exteriors.
Yep.
Where your score 2-1 in favor of the Ontario Warriors. 2-3-0. Shelby 1-4 in 3 errors, but the Whippets got on the board in the bottom of the 1st. Quinton Albert a single. Travis Sloan with a single. Maverick Noel with a single to load him up. Albert scores on a wild pitch that made it 1-0. But in the top of the 2nd, right back at you come the Warriors with 1 out. Kearns and Ginn both reach on errors, and then right after that, James Mahon, a deep fly, bounces off the track, off the fence, scores 2, a 2 RBI double, 2-1, and then after that, well, both pitchers have really settled in. 10 strikeouts on one side, 4 on the other, but these pitchers are getting outs. And there's your score, 2-1. Now, both teams, like we said, will be playing. One of these 2 teams will be playing in the district semifinal next week against number 1 Perkins. That game you'll see live and free on the OH Report. District got moved. It was supposed to be Wednesday, Friday. It got moved to Tuesday, Thursday now, which helps us out because there's regional softball all on Wednesday.
And we're going to have a ton of ladies teams, of course, still competing there in the Sweet 16. So looks like maybe catching a break for once here with the schedule.
Ground ball, and it's thrown to the backstop of first base side, and in the 2nd is Hartz with the gift. It looked like an easy grounder, and Mahon just underthrew it. E4. And just like that, the Whippets have the tying run on in the top of the order with nobody out in the 5th.
I think calling that a gift is exactly right. Not one that Mahon wanted to give, and one of the very few that he's had all season long. Kid has been a first-team all-MOAC selection all year. Defensively, he's been fantastic. So if you're Shelby, boy, what a gift.
Eister with a chance to tie things up here. Fouls that back. It's 0-1. Gut check time. And actually, Brody Cheek is playing second. As that's flown out of play, and it's 0-2. So gut check time here for Walters. Can he get the out here to settle himself back in with the runner on second?
think I saw some members perhaps of Clear Fork Baseball down there. Taking this one in, getting a look.
I think I see Coach Kennedy out there. That one bounces away. Runner going to third. He's in there. So now only 90 feet away. A deep fly ball could tie this one up. Middle infield's playing back, so they'll trade the run for the out. That one misses. We're even at 2. So, yeah, infield not playing in. So a ground ball could score the run and tie this up. The 2-2. High for ball 3.
And you see how an error can just change the momentum.
Absolutely.
Anytime it's unforced as well. So Ontario, dangerous spot for them right now on the defensive side. But a big pitch. And I love the reaction, too, from Carter Walters. Just a little nod over to the Shelby Whippet dugout. See it right here. He's like, yep. I'm out here playing for keeps, boys.
But he's got a big test here in Quinton Albert. Singled and scored the only run for Shelby, then sent one to deep center in the third. Another hit like that can tie this game up. Infield scooting up a little bit here as he gives this one a ride. Back to center field. It's going to be deep enough. We are going to be tied. 2-all.
29th RBI of the season. You knew this kid was going to give it a good enough ride to allow for an opportunity for Brody Cheek to come home. 2-2 now the score on a nice sac fly that time from the District Player of the Year.
You know what we call that, Brian? A productive out. Sometimes making outs is still good, and that's exactly what that did. So base is empty now for Sloan. But the most important thing is that misses him. Weesh. Take a look at the replay here. He's able to get out of the way, but the most important thing is this game is tied back up here in the bottom of the 5th. And once again, the fact that the district semifinal is 5 days away, you can throw everybody here today and not have to worry about losing anybody for the district semi. So just a warning, this may... If things goes the way they've been going, we may be here for a little bit. But that's okay.
Yeah, we already touched on James Mahon and what he's been able to do with that under 1 ERA on the season. In all likelihood, Coach Ellis, that would be the next move that you would make. Bring in James, move him from the shortstop position, get Carter out into the infield.
Three 3-0 the pitch. In there for a strike. It's 3-1. Currently, Walters is at 65 pitches, make it 66 for ball 4. And a 2-out base runner once again for the Whippets. So, yeah, Walters, he can be out there a while still.
Now batting.
Sloan is at 99 pitches, so he may be out for one more inning, but we may see the bullpen coming up here for the Whippets. Maverick up now. Oh, and we got a pickoff.
Great move there by Carter Walters. Maybe just a little hesitation one way. It was just perfect timing there for the throw over to first to keep it a 2-2 game.
But the Whippets do tie it up through 5 in this D4 sectional final. We're tied at 2.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
mentioned Sloan was at 99 pitches. That'll do it for him through 5 innings, as there is Nick Eister on the mound for the Whippets. A 2-4 record, 4.36 ERA, 29 strikeouts, as he looks to keep this game tied as we come to the top of the 6th. Brian Skoronsky, along with me, Travis Berardi, Brandon Power, cameraman, and a bunch of Shelby Whippet members and members of the media up here inside this pretty decently warm press box.
This is the best baseball facility in the area, bar none. So they always take such good care of us. Very appreciative that we're able to get this game in tonight. The field holding up, and so are we. Travis, it's pretty comfortable. You don't even got a coat on here tonight.
I refuse to do. It's the end of May. I refuse to break out the cold gear. This is not cool, Mother Nature. As the first pitch to Kearns,
it's a little
taken
cool
for a strike. It's a little chilly.
I
But
see what you're saying.
I'm in
though.
jeans. Okay, I've given at least that substitution out of the shorts. I actually went to get my oil changed in shorts today and said, yeah, no, I'm not going to call a game like that. 1-1 to count.
Got sweatpants underneath my dress pants here.
Hey, we had some cold nights for high school football in the playoffs, so we know how to dress for it, but I'm not getting back to that at the end of May. The 1-1 misses for ball 2. Ontario and Shelby split in the regular season. The rubber match will determine a sectional champion.
Shelby actually, outside of the tournament loss to Ontario a couple of years ago, they've really had the run of play over the last 8 meetings. Won 6 of them. So they've had a lot of regular season success against this Ontario squad, including 2 wins against them, even though Ontario knocked them off in the playoffs a couple of years back.
That's fouled off. It was an 11-0 Shelby win back on the 7th. But one day later, Ontario bounced back for a 5-1 victory. The 3-2 fouled off over the Ontario dugout. That seems to be a hotbed for foul balls here today. Talking about cold weather. As this liner right back to Eister, he'll run it over to first for the out. 1 away. Thank you very much. I'll take that. 1 down. Speaking of cold weather, All Ohio Hoops watching us today. Watching some possible All Ohio baseball players out there.
Hoops is a year-round thing, so don't necessarily have to parlay it with the cold weather.
Just usually when we cover, it's, I'm wearing a hoodie. The 1-0. Fouled up over us. It's 1-1.
Yeah, shout out Brennan Lewis, Shelby kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting that page famous out there.
We have a lot of local talent that played, as that swung on a miss, that have gone into the media or coaching. Saw Corbin Toms, Lucas graduate, now taking over there. Mr. Hip from Shelby, graduate, now at Madison. I mean, our youth taking over.
Very cool to see, especially love when it's the alma mater. You get to come back and give to the community that did so much for you when you were coming up throughout your playing career. And a handful of them right now in the area. So some cool stories to keep an eye on at the beginning of what could be long, very successful careers. You look in our own department, like a Joe Baylog, to think of like him coming in 85, 86, and to see the start of that, pretty special.
Got him looking, strike 3. 2 down, Eister's first K. And we're back to the top of the order in Mahon. And also, he's taking over for another great story as Taylor Eisman, for health reasons, but for good health reasons, had to back away, got his hardware changed out, as you could say, but doing very well. Want to shout him out, shout his family out. It's a great thing that happened to him. Now he'll fully get to enjoy his kids playing basketball.
One more coaching change, too, that did a couple of games with us. Ben McClay on the mic. He is taking over for one of our schools as well.
Yes. So shout out him and best of luck. That misses for a ball.
Taking over for a legend, too. So not easy shoes to fill, dude, over 500 career wins. But we wish him the best at Crestview, and obviously we'll be following along his career.
High throw, but a nice snag. And Eister does exactly what Coach Amicone wanted. A 1-2-3 inning as the Whippets now come to bat with a chance to take the lead here in the 6th. 2-2 still to score.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Bottom of the 6th, 2-2. Shelby looking to retake the lead here after a 1-2-3 inning by Nick Eister. Carter Walters back out to work the 6th. Shout out also to Addison Ferris, big OCC baby.
What up?
And Amy Goodland. Go Warriors. About 175 watching on you. Why aren't you commenting on YouTube, people? None yet. Give us a shout out. Let's shout you out. First pitch in there for a strike on Maverick Noel.
Always want to find out where people are watching from.
Where are you watching from?
It's the most interesting question to me. How you tuning in tonight?
Actually, yesterday we had a person watching from Dublin, Ireland. Watching that Clyde Clearport game. The 1-1. Misses for ball 2. Big opportunity if Shelby can get the leadoff hitter on here. Maybe they play some small ball to try and get that leading run across.
Maverick just made that nice defensive play to end the top half of the inning. Looking to start things off here with a bang. Big cut right there. Pitchers count.
Diana DeLauder is watching in the parking lot at Shelby High School.
Let's
got
go.
A message sent to us for that. Walters ready. The 2-2. High, ball 3, and the count is full. You don't want to lose this leadoff hitter, especially here late in the 6th. The payoff pitch. Flared in the right, and that's going to drop safely foul. We'll go again.
Super long run that time for Dane Kearns. Take his time getting back here. Had to expend quite a bit of energy, make that jaunt. And the balls just aren't starting to fall like they were early on in the game for Shelby, where it was kind of pick your poison right in the spot where Warriors defenders were not. Definitely.
No man's land, they call that.
Yeah, you got to credit Walters for a lot of that. He's been dealing.
3-2. Chopper. Fielded by the third baseman on the first, and he beat it out on the slide. Effort play there by Noel, flying like Maverick there, and he beats out the throw. It's an infield single, and the Whippets have the leadoff hitter on in the 6th.
Yeah, man. He hit the highway to the danger zone with some serious velocity right here. I thought that he was going to be cooked. Nah, baby. He wasn't going to be burnt toast, not with that effort right there.
Looked like he was in an F-14 in that one. That'll bring up Brady Bowman, looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 2 right now with a strikeout and a ground out. Walters would love another ground out here to get a double play ball. Runner on first, nobody down bottom 6 in a 2-2 game. And like I said, inches. Baseball can be a game of inches too. That they end up scoring this run here. You got to look back at that play.
Ian Rachel made a fantastic move from third base,
yes.
too. He got it, fired over there with a rifle cannon. It's just that we already touched on what Maverick was able to bring. Head first slide, and now he's out there really just trying to get everybody up and energized over on the Shelby Whippet side of things.
And Mr. Lauder saying it's Noel, not Noel, so Maverick Noel. Thank you for the pronunciation correction.
So he's definitely not Big Christmas, no question.
No, but he's flying like Maverick. Walters checks the runner at first. Here's 1-0. Looking at the bunt, misses for a ball. It's 2-0. Once again, Whippets trying maybe some small ball here to get a runner in the scoring position. Two on the Mechanics scoreboard. Winner plays another week. That one bounces away. No bunt needed. Runner moves up. And it's 3-0.
Let's see how this one got away from Ciroli.
That bounced before the batter's box.
Well in front of home plate right there, so a really tough play for the catcher. Couldn't get his body in front, squirts through, and perhaps Coach Ellis is going to take the ball, and we'll see who he hands it off to. There's a few different options, of course, in the cupboard. We talked about James Mahon, certainly would be probably choice number one. Rachel with an ERA just over 1 right now with about 7 innings of work. Holden can pitch, Kane Cantrell, Dom Cantrell.
He's
so
gonna keep his pitcher in there. It's very rare that you will take a pitcher out during a count like that, but I think Coach Ellis said, you're on a short leash here. I'm going to keep you in here, try and get some, get it over the plate. If you walk him, that's okay because it sets up a double play again. Just don't throw it over. Don't give him a meatball right here. Also, this may be last couple batters just to let you know. Try and get out of this jam. 3-0 to the 5-hitter. Go-ahead run, and Noel on second. Walters gets his sign. The pitch. High ball 4. Ball gets away, and the runner gets to third. So 2 wild pitches puts the go-ahead runner 90 feet away. As Noel once again reading it perfectly and getting over the third.
absolute spark plug right now. You see him clapping it up out there on the base pass, really trying to get into the psyche right now of Carter Walters. Probably a short leash here at this point. And he's really had his command up until this point in the game right now. A couple able to get away from Ciroli, so might think about maybe this being the last batter.
Well, it's Caleb Stairs who sent that fly deep to center, and Coach Ellis, realizing that, says we're going to intentionally walk the bases loaded and set the force up at any base. No outs, bases juiced for Brock Fisher.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Brock Fisher.
No one out. Knoll at third, Bowman at second, Stairs at first. Can Fisher be the hero? So far, it is only the 6th.
Brock's got a .375 slugging percentage. He's come through quite a few times in these type of situations this year and rips this one.
One through the hole and left. 1 run will score. Here comes the second. Shelby leads. Clutch hitting at the most opportune time. Fisher comes through. It's 4-2.
2 RBI double, and obviously with Brady Bowman out there on the base pass, you know that you're going to at least get 2 here in this situation. Stairs all the way over to third. Just an absolutely game-changing hit right there.
And that's what happens if you bring the infield in to try and cut down the runner. at the plate. It opens up that hole in the 6 hole, and he was able to rip it right through and give Shelby a 4-2 lead, and now they're 3 outs away from a sectional championship and a date with Perkins on Tuesday. And bring up Sam Gwertz. Still nobody out here in the 6th.
Yeah, you're looking at a single, 2 walks, and now an RBI single consecutively here for Shelby. So Walters, they've already had the mound visit. Has had some command problems. Don't want to wait too long here if you're the Ontario staff.
That one taken for ball 1. Walters had been cruising. The ball gets away just enough. And the runner, Fisher, will get down to second. It's 2-0.
I'm probably not waiting another moment. I'm a little concerned, obviously, with the way things have gone here in this inning. There are still none down yet in the frame. A lot of cooks that you can bring in, throw in the kitchen here.
And you have to keep it, as that's in there for a strike, you have to keep it at a 2-run deficit. The Warriors have their number 2, 3, 4 hitters. They have the meat of their order coming up in the 7th, but you can't let it get away here. 2's okay to fight back with, but if it gets any further out there, as that's taken for ball 3, it can be really hard.
Could be the last batter that Walters will face tonight.
He battled valiantly, but just maybe running out of steam here in the 6th. As that hits the batter, and the bases are going to be loaded again.
Yeah, Branson Reed taking one for the team here. And now Coach Ellis on his way back out to the mound. Is it a little bit too late here at this point? Tough situation to come in for a reliever.
We will find out who that reliever is after a quick break. Shelby has the bases loaded with nobody out in the 6th. Now up 4-2.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
Our player spotlight, James Mahon on the mound, and let's take a look at his numbers one more time. The righty senior, 2-0, a .90 ERA, 32 strikeouts. He inherits 3 runners in a 2-run deficit, but if he can somehow get out of this jam, you got to think the momentum will be back on the Warriors' side, especially with their 2, 3, 4 hitters due up in the 7th, but still a lot of work to do. Nobody out, bases loaded.
It would be a huge lift for Ontario to just head into their final 3 outs down by 2. That's why you've saved this young man here in the pen, come in this type of situation, and he is a strikeout artist, one of the very best in North Central Ohio, first team all MOAC performer.
Final line on Walters, 5 innings plus, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned so far, but he does have all 3 runners out on the base paths. 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. Also the line for Sloan, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, none earned, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts for him. Bottom of the order, Connor Hart's due up. And that one bounces for ball 1.
A little bit of nerves, rivalry game, starting to get late in the season. Don't want it to end here on the road. Not at Shelby when you're Ontario.
Whippets have scored the last 3 runs to take a 4-2 lead. This is popped up underneath it, making the catch a big first out. As the pop-up taken by Carter Walters, who's now over at third base.
Yeah, he's a pretty natural third baseman. He's played pretty much everywhere on the infield throughout his career here at Ontario. But I think that hot corner down there is a good spot for him and helping his cause a little bit, trying to get his friends back. Mahon, a couple of pitches, gets the pop-up. So far, so good. 1 down.
Top of the order now, Neister. That bounces, but not far enough away. It's ball 1. Despite the rain, been a busy week here on the OH Report. A couple baseball sectional games, a lot of tournament softball, a lot of great tournament softballs. Well, you had 2 very good games over Galleon. I had 2 blowouts here, but still. Squeeze play is blown up. Looked for the sacrifice squeeze bunt, couldn't get it down, and the runner was dead to rights at third. Stairs thrown out, and now there's 2 outs.
Yeah, this was a really gutsy call here by Shelby. What's the only rule on this play? You got to make contact. Just misfiring right there. And it puts Ontario now in a great position to try to get out of this jam.
1-1 the count. Swings through that, now it's 1-2. So the Whippets did get the 2-run single to take the lead, but Ontario might get some momentum back if they can get 1 more strike here.
Especially, I think, a strikeout really would fire up the team.
The 1-2. Low, 2-2. And the Warriors, I mean, we're talking about this 2 years ago. They were in this position in a sectional final, but at home against a lower seed. They were down 2 runs late, 2 outs in the 7th. They ended up scoring 3, and it propelled them to a state championship game appearance. Don't count out the Warriors yet, especially with what they have due up in the order. But they need to get this out here.
Well, that's just the nature of this game is that, I mean, an out can go on forever. It's part of the fabric of what makes baseball cool is that you really, truly never can count yourself out as long as you've got a couple more opportunities with the bats in your hands. And Ontario still with the 3 outs. They've got some of their biggest hitters in the lineup on the way. Can you just keep it a 2-run game? Yes, and I think you feel like you've got a chance.
Yes. First base open, too, so you don't really have to throw this down the middle. You can try and get a swing and miss. It's popped up. Is there enough room? There is not. We'll go again at 3-2.
Yeah, another long dash there for Dane that's going to be just outside of the premise where he would be able to bring it in for the out. So the at-bat continues here. Eister, he's fought hard at the plate all day, hasn't had much success. 0 for 3, did have a strikeout as well, but keeping his beat thumping here in a big
line
rip.
Drive, base hit.
There it is, settling in, waiting for the right pitch. Big moment right here. Extends the lead here for Shelby at home. Great piece of hitting, just a piece of art right there.
So they did go with the fastball down the middle, and he put it right back up the middle. It's 5-2. Runners now on the corners for Quinton Albert.
Yeah, not a very comfortable spot to be just checking in here for James Mahon.
So the Whippets do add another run on, some insurance, much needed insurance here in this game. And the one you want up the bat to add on even more.
Yeah, 2 for 3 so far here tonight. Had the or excuse me, 1 for 3. Had the
1 for 2. Sacrifice flies do not count as at bats, actually, Mr. Skoronsky.
Probably should. Kind of a weird rule.
You give yourself up for the run. That's what it is. Or the
It's
move
a
or
selfless
whatever.
play.
It's a selfless play. A productive out, like I said. Sometimes you're rewarded with productive outs. That's inside. Almost hits him. It's 1-0.
Yeah, Albert turned away from that one when the ball was only about halfway towards home plate. So recognizing wasn't going to give him anything to feast on there with that first offering.
Mahon looking for his pitch. Gets it. He's ready to release. The 1-0. Nope. Fakes the throw to first. Eister hoping he gets down there to second base. Won't try it there.
Yeah, it just looks awful empty and lonely, doesn't it?
Whippets with 3 in the inning to take a 5-2 lead. Now 3 outs away from a sectional championship. The 2-0. That's in there for a strike. It's 2-1.
Just observing John Amacone pacing down here in front of the Whippets dugout, playing that third base line, just trying to make sure everybody's up, keep those, positive reinforcements coming. And a really big chance here for Albert to kind of rock the baby to bed early if he can get a big stick on this ball.
That one misses, and this is a hitter's count, 3 balls and a strike with a base open. Will Mahon go at him like he did one batter ago, or will he try and get him to chase, and if he doesn't, just let him walk? There's the pitch. It's in there for a strike, just catches the corner. What a pitch he made there to fill the count. Eister will be off with the pitch. And that's big because if he gets a running start, a single could score him as well. Now time called. The Clear Fork Colts, first MOAC team to move on. I believe Gallion's playing right now, Highland, and then these 2 teams. How many MOAC teams will we have in a district semi? We'll at least have 2.
Yeah, really deep league. Marion Harding I wasn't keeping an eye on, but they too had a really loaded lineup, a couple of good pitchers as well. I think this is the deepest MOAC that I can remember where there just really wasn't an easy out up and down the entire allotment of the teams that you would play. Pleasant didn't necessarily have a great year, but just about everybody else put some fear in your heart as this one
Pop the right.
taken.
And that'll do it. So Mahon does come in, give up only 1 run. The Whippets up 3. 3 outs away from a sectional championship and a date with Perkins on Tuesday.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Nick Eister, to the sounds of the song Wild Thing, looking to close this out. He's actually in line for the win, but 3 outs away from a sectional championship. 5-2 Shelby here on the Mechanics Bank scoreboard. Travis Berardi back here with Brian Skoronsky, and the Whippets, a big 6th inning. Chased Walters, and now 3 outs away from a little bit of a revenge from 2 years ago.
Shelby certainly is starting to come into the tournament with a little bit of momentum right now, so would not surprise me to see this team go on a nice little run, propelled by a victory here at home, and coming up with some clutch hits there in that last inning, able to finally get to Mahon after he had done, or excuse me, get to Walters, bringing in Mahon after he did such a nice job there for several innings, kind of facing the minimum number of batters there for a minute. It's a rivalry game, rubber match. Knew both of these teams were going to come in hungry. Shelby playing at home, coming up with some big plays here. Certainly it's cool to see if you're a Whippet fan, and they've had a little bit of heartbreak, I think, in the tournament over about the last 8-9 years that I can remember, where they felt like they should go a little bit deeper in tournament than they should. Perhaps this is a year where they break open that can of worms, move on to the districts, and who knows what from there.
First pitch to Rachel. Drops into no man's land, and that's what you need for the Ontario Warriors. A bloop single, and it'll bring up Carter Walters. I was going to say that this is going to be the with the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up.
Batter, number 12, Carter Walters.
Walters has got on base twice today, a couple of walks in the first 2 innings.
If you're Eyster, don't worry about the runner at first. That run right now, they can score and you can still win the game. Just look at the batter. It's if the next 2 batters reach, that's when you got to get a little nervous. But you can allow 1 batter to get on base and still don't have to worry about him. 1-0 to Walters. That bounces to the backstop. The runner will take second base. It's 2-0. So that takes the force out, the double play away at the moment.
Warriors putting together some things here to start off this top half of the 7th inning.
The 2-0. Misses for ball 3. Might see Coach Amicone walk out and talk to his pitcher if he cannot get this batter. Calm him down. The 3-0. Bounces in there, ball 4. First and second. And now the tying run is to the plate, but like I said, here comes Coach Amicone out to talk to his pitcher. Tying run to the plate here for Ontario with nobody out.
Every morning at the mine, you can see him arrive.
Just trying to calm down some nerves there within the infield. Done an excellent job of putting yourself in the driver's seat coming into this final inning.
Hello to Ron Terry watching from Pulaski, Tennessee. Bet you it's warmer down there today.
You betcha.
100 viewers watching on YouTube. 87 on Facebook.
Nobody seems to know where John called home.
Gen X watching on the YouTube.
Commenting on YouTube. Watching from Salt Lake City, Phyllis Heimberger, always watching from Marion. Bangor, Maine for Tom Wilson. Cole Hollis from San Diego. All around the country watching this.
That's
the Warriors
right.
try to fight back. They need 3 to force the bottom of the 7th. They need 4 to take the lead and be 3 outs away from the districts. First pitch from Eyster is in there for a strike. Holden 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. The 0-1. Outside. 1-1.
Cool to see viewers from sea to shining sea taking in some North Central Ohio playoff baseball. Weren't sure if we were going to get this game in tonight. Thank you to Mother Nature for playing along.
The only game in town. That's going to be fouled over our heads, and it's 1-2. Big opportunity for Eyster to reset here if he can get this out. Would mean a double play ball could end it. Needs to get this batter first. The 1-2. Little chopper right to him. He's going to go to second for 1. On the first, not in time, but they do get the runner at second. And there's 1 down.
So for both sides, I mean, Shelby, happy to get an out here. Ontario advancing a runner over to third. Looking to at least you bring in one, and you can always build off of that anytime you get that scoring going.
You get that force out, you still keep the double play ball as well. And there is Max Ciroli will come up. He hit a double already, so he has put the ball in play. He does once again represent the tying run here. One out, top 7, 5-2 Shelby. Again, Eister can focus on the batter alone. Swings through that one for strike one. Once again, winner moving to the Willard District Semis Tuesday, live and free right here on the OH Report. We'll have the Colts as well. Maybe, quite possibly, if a couple upsets, we'll have an MOAC, all MOAC district final. That misses to even the count at 1.
Coach Kennedy told me looks like Perkins probably the team to beat in that district this year. Just need one good day on the mound. Big day with the bats. This is be an easy one for Shelby, and it's going to keep the runners right in place.
Whippets and out away. Last chance for Ontario's Landon Sowards.
Now batting, number
0 for 2 with a walk. He's reached base twice. Eister ready with the first pitch. Grounded up the middle, base hit. It's 5-3, and the tying run now on base for the Whippets.
Just got that senior mentality. Something starts setting in. It's a little uneasiness in your craw when you feel like potentially your career is going to come to a close. Love that piece of hitting right there. One swing, one pitch for Sowards. 2-run game here. Go ahead, run like you said, stepping up. So starting to get some fun storylines now with Mahon getting an opportunity.
Actually, Jack Cotter is going to pinch hit.
Take a look at Cotter's numbers. Cotter on the season, just a 154 average, only 2 hits so far, Travis, on the season. Very similar to Mahon, who's getting a late start to his year. So,
but Mahon struck out 3 times in that, so a fresh bat here, maybe a new look. We'll see what he can do. First pitch from Eister. Misses for ball 1.
Always got to stay ready if you're sitting over there in that dugout. Never know when your moment could come up. 7th inning, 2 outs.
Bounces, gets away. Runner from second goes to third. However, the runner from first did not advance. That's the tying run, so he will not get into the scoring position yet. Count is 2-0, though. Force out as well remains at second base.
So a bit of a missed opportunity. I think certainly with a good jump, could have got to second base, and as you said, represent the tying run there in scoring position. 2 outs, got to play it a bit more careful. That's what Ontario's done here.
The 2-0. Misses for ball 3. And a ball away from putting the go-ahead run on base here in the 7th.
Eister's walked one already. Was his 20th of the season?
The 3-0. In there for a strike. It's 3-1. He was taken the whole time.
Had to dial in that pitch.
The 3-0. 1. Swing and a miss. There's a strike away. Runner from first will be off with the pitch. The 3-2. Fouled off, will go again. So now an opportunity with the 3-2 pitch, a line drive, a base hit could tie this game up. Another 3-2. Ground ball to short. Up with it on the first. Scooped and got him. Shelby wins.
Ooh, boy, was that close.
Take a look at the replay. Made it nervous. But yeah, we'll show you one more time and give you a slow motion before we go to break. But wow, what a play.
More than just the stick. You look at the District Player of the Year. Awesome grab off of the turf right here. If he misplays this and it makes its way, obviously, out there towards the fence, Travis, that's not an easy catch either. Gets him out. And Shelby punching their ticket. They're moving on to the round of districts.
5-3 the final. We will take a break, and Brian will talk with our MVP after this. You're watching the D4 Sectional Championship live and free on the OH Report.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports.
I like being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
Hey, does your checking account pay you with real cash rewards with no monthly maintenance fees ever? Bummer. Ask for Kasasa Rewards Checking. It's our superpower.
You just enjoyed live and free tournament baseball exclusively on OH Report, thanks to our generous sponsors, including our friends at American Homestead Exteriors, where their commitment to excellence is reflected in a strong, reliable exterior solution. Call them up for roofing, siding, and gutters, along with windows today. Mechanics Bank is Richland County's only independent community bank. Arcelor Mittal, our MVP sponsor. Smarter steals for people and planet. They are hiring now. Competitive wages and benefits. Visit arcelormittal-oh-.com. Sorry, that's written quite crazy. Click on careers and you can find out more details. Charter NextGen also hiring for high-paying jobs in a cutting-edge environment. Avita Home Health and Hospice, providing high-quality community health care and improving the quality of health in families throughout their lifespan. And Sutton Bank, where you can earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. We've got our MVP in the building. You're going to hear from Mr. Fisher here in just a moment. We've now got our player of the game up here in the booth with me. Big clutch hitting tonight by Brock Fisher in a come-from-behind win at home. So let's start with that sixth inning and you guys starting to get it together. Obviously, Carter Walters, he was in a bit of a groove. How did you disrupt that and end up getting all those base runners come out on top?
Just had a good mindset coming in. Coach Howard told me just have a good approach at the plate, and I did. And we had those guys on base, and it's a weak game.
No bigger hit than yours, the 2 RBI single. Take me through that at bat, and ultimately what pitch that you get that you were able to drive on?
I was sitting the slider. He's been throwing the slider a lot, first pitch, and I was sitting on it, and I got it right on the middle and took it there.
This is the team. You've been up and down all season long. You had like a 5-game losing streak, followed by a 7-game win streak. Now you're starting to collect a lot of wins. 5 out of your last 6 are victorious. So talk about the mental spot that you guys are in at this point, moving on to districts.
It's awesome. We're all hyped and ready to go, and we're gonna play our best game.
Definitely a lot of energy exuding from your dugout all night. How big a part of that has it been throughout the course of the season, just to stay hyped for everybody the entire game?
Yes, it's great. When you have that, just the hype, it's awesome. Just when you get a big hit and people are hyped, it's awesome.
And in this game, there was a few innings where it just wasn't really going your guys' way offensively. They're a little bit stagnant. So to find a way at the end of the game against a rival like Ontario, what was some of the conversations that you and the boys just had after the game as far as the satisfaction is concerned?
Oh, we just had to keep a positive mindset, and we were super hyped, and just a great feeling against our rivals.
Moving on into districts, and you get to take on the #1 seed, I believe, in Sandusky Perkins. The opportunity to go against a really good squad like that, what are you looking forward to most?
Just playing our best game and getting that win and just moving on. We'll take it game by game and see how everything goes.
All right, well, moving on in through the weekend to next Tuesday against Perkins. Shelby with a 5-2 victory here today. The MVP, Brock Fisher. Go ahead, give some shout-outs, buddy.
Shout out all the fans and shout out all my boys for a great win.
All right, brought to you by Arcelor Mittal, your MVP.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Back here inside the American Homestead Exteriors post-game show, your final in this D4 Sectional Championship. Number 4, Shelby 5. Number 6, Ontario 3. Travis Berardi back here with the boss man, Brian Skoronsky, and that was a very entertaining baseball game.
As anticipated, these two teams going head-to-head over the last several years. We showed you that Shelby's kind of had that upper hand in terms of these matchups. However, Ontario, this is a team that when they get into the tournament, usually there's a little bit of magic. They're able to get to the Whippets last time these two teams met up a couple of years back. And it's cool to see, I think, here on their home surface, Shelby mount a comeback in the biggest moments of the game. They produce all those hits there in the 6th inning.
Yep.
They're able to make the most of their at-bats, and here they are advancing with a couple of run difference over their longtime rival.
Yep. 3 hits, 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for Ontario, 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for the Whippets. Carter Walters takes the loss. 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs total, 3 earned, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. Mahon worked an inning, gave up 1 hit. As for the Whippets, though, Sloan looked very pitched. 3 hits, 2 runs, none earned, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts, and then Nick Eister comes in, shuts the door. He officially gets the win. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, which was earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Noel, though, one of the hot